good morning. The big guy's gone to another federation. Who he is and where he went is surely hot news today. This and more on this hour of Rasslin Radio. We are on Talk 900 WDVT. I am Carmela. I'm here for myself and my partner and co-host, Joel Goodhart, who's not here today. He is out celebrating the Jewish holiday, and I would like to wish him and all of our Jewish listeners a happy holiday. Joel, I know you're listening, but I don't care, okay? All right, we have some real big stuff coming up over here. I want to give you our phone numbers and our address. Our phone numbers in Pennsylvania are 238-3900. In New Jersey, 541-3900. Our address is WDVT, Talk 900, New Market, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 19147. I'm going to have an opinion day today, okay? I'm going to tell you what we've heard. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of guys moving. There's a lot of things changing, and there's a lot of things happening. I want your opinion. Today's going to be opinion day. Besides your questions, I want to know what you think of all the guys that are changing federations, all the guys that are moving around. Our big news of the day is, well, no, let me rephrase that. One of our big things of the day, you have to stay tuned for the rest of the hour to hear all the other stuff. One of our big things of the day is few of our sources have told us, reliable sources now, again, this is a rumor, but reliable sources have told us that Big Jim Duggan, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, has gone to the WWF. He has signed as of about a week and a half ago, I'd say, or maybe like the early part of last week. He's going into the WWF. Now, I want to know what you think of that. And if you think it's great, I want to hear it. And if you think it stinks, well, I want to hear that too. So we're going to go on. WWF, for those of you who don't know, means the World Wrestling Federation. There's 3 or 4 big ones. We're going to name them along with their letters so that everybody knows what we're talking about. Okay, and what's happening here is WWF, World Wrestling Federation, is tied up with World Class. Okay, on 10/12, the World Class group is holding its annual big card at the Cotton Bowl, and scheduled to appear will be none other than Ricky Steamboat from the WWF. This is one of many WWF wrestlers who will be making a one-time appearance or maybe a couple-time appearances in World Class. Through the influence of George Scott, who had once worked for Vince McMahon as his booker. Apparently he's down there. He wasn't fired from what we understand, just kind of shifted around. And the connection between the WWF and World Class seems to be more than just a rumor at this point. I don't know how that's going to go over, as last year there was a card out in Dallas that had Piper and Hogan on it and only drew 182 people. So we're going to kind of take it from there and see what happens with that. But again, you heard it here first. World Class and WWF, World Wrestling Federation, may be hooking up as one. Okay, as far as the Albano firing, all right, we've heard that he was fired. Albano says he quit. He says he quit to do movies, to become a star. He may be coming back, and so may Adrian Adonis. We were also told that the Adrian Adonis let go was more than for a 30-day period. Apparently he was let go for good, and now we're going to find out whether it's a for good deal or not, but it's supposedly he might be coming back around Thanksgiving. Albano may be coming back if it's true that he only quit. Okay, we have some main event results. Okay, if you guys watched it last night, you noticed Piper hurt his leg. Okay, when did he hurt his leg? Well, I don't know. Apparently he didn't hurt his leg till after last night's show, but it was hurt anyway. So we have some of the results from last night. Hulk Hogan beat Paul Orndorff on a DQ. That means disqualification for those of you who don't know. Heenan was carried out by the security guards. That was nice. I enjoyed watching that. And Adonis interfered, came out of the audience in a dress and a wig and the whole bit. Piper came to the aid of Hulk Hogan, and he beat up Adrian Adonis with his crutch, and I don't know whether he's really hurt or not. We'll have to find that out. Maybe that was a good exit for him since he's out anyway. Steamboat beat Jake Roberts in a snake pit match. That simply means kind of like no rules, but I don't know. It seemed like there were some rules going on there to me. Steamboat brought in his Lizard, and we had heard, too, that the Lizard got mad at one of the shows and got up and walked out of the ring, and that was the end of that. Morales was supposed to have fought the Sheik last night, but Piper came in and demanded that Morales leave so that he could fight the Sheik. And Piper beat him, okay? The tag team came on between the Bulldogs and Valentine Beefcake. It was European rules. The first fall, Valentine pinned Dynamite Kid. The second fall, Dynamite Kid pinned Valentine. And the third fall, Davey Boy Smith beat Brutus Beefcake. And Kamala beat Leaping Lanny Poffo. I get the feeling that Carmela can beat Leaping Lanny Poffo wherever he is. Okay, don't forget our phone numbers here. It's 238-3900 in Pennsylvania and 541-3900 in New Jersey. You're on DVT Talk 900.
Yeah, I'd like to know, are the UWF belts, are they considered like world status or just like just belts in their federation?
Just belts in their federation. All of the belts are considered belts in their federation.
Uh-huh.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Okay, you're on Talk 900.
Good morning, Carmela.
Good morning.
Serge.
Hi, Serge. How you doing?
Okay, dear. How you doing?
Okay.
Before I start, when we call the callers, are we just allow one person to call, or can two people? Like when I finish asking you a question, can Joan ask you a question? She have to call you later.
She have to call later. I can only limit everybody to one question per phone call. So if two of you get on, then it'll be two questions.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
What's your question,
Okay,
Serge?
my question is for you. Okay.
Okay.
Now, we know that Hulk Hogan is the chairman of the WWF, and Ric Flair is the chairman of the NWA. Okay?
Right.
My question to you, now, how long have you been a wrestling fan? Has it been a long time?
I've been involved in wrestling one way or another for 25 years. Well, it's going on 27 right now.
Okay. All right. Well, you know pretty much how each wrestler's style is and everything.
That's right.
Right. Okay. Now, I feel that Ric Flair would annihilate Ric Flair would destroy Hulk Hogan in a match.
Okay, that's what you feel?
And not only that, he has more moves and more knowledge than Hulk Hogan. Now, what do you think?
Oh, I agree with you 100%. In my personal opinion, I think Ric Flair can definitely beat Hulk Hogan. However, whether we'll ever see that or anything like that, I don't know. But definitely the skill and the power and the experience is there. Hulk Hogan, the only time, in my knowledge, Hulk Hogan has ever had to really wrestle in a match was when he was in Japan.
Right.
Okay?
Okay.
Thank you, Serge.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Okay, you're on Talk 900, Dave.
Yeah, hi.
How you doing? What's up?
I wanted to know, I heard from a reliable source that Dusty Rhodes has AIDS, and I want to know if it was true. That's really a shame.
Not from me.
Okay.
I don't know. I have no idea. I haven't heard anything about that, and even if he did, it's really not my place to say that on the air, okay?
Yeah, 'cause he's one of my favorites.
All right, thank you. Okay, let's go over to Frank. Frank, Northeast, you're on Talk 900.
Yeah, hello, Carmela.
Hi, what's up?
I'd like to know about what your opinion would be, the use of instant replay to help determine matches and help, curb the scurrilous deeds of Ric Flair, Tully Blanchard, J.J. Dillon. The NFL is embarking on a plan where they're attempting to use instant replay. When will we see instant replay in wrestling?
Well, you do see instant replay right now, as a matter of fact. Some of the moves, some of the decisions that have been made that people don't agree with, everything is played back, and unfortunately, at this point in time, the decision of the referees is final, so there's really not a whole lot we can do about that.
That's what I'm saying. When will we see instant replay help,
I don't know. I don't know that you'll ever see instant replay change a decision again. It's been done in the past. I don't know when and if it will happen, but of course I'd like to see that too. Okay, thank you. Okay. Let's go on to a few more things here. The newcomers in the WWF, the World Wrestling Federation, are going to be, from what we're told, Rick Martel, Tom Zenk, and Steve DeSalvo, all from the Montreal vicinity. Apparently Montreal promotion is in serious trouble, and the WWF is picking up on that. Also, Jerry Oski is in the WWF as Jerry Allen. The next main event is going to be November or December in Los Angeles. The upcoming cards. This is something else we want to talk about. We're going to try and get the commissioners to come on our show before the 18th of October. The Spectrum show is supposed to be the 18th of October. Hogan Orndorff, he can lose a belt in the disqualification. Savage and Honky Tonk Man, who we all know is Wayne Ferris from Memphis. Hillbilly Jim against Mr. Fuji in a tuxedo match, and many others. Okay, we're back on WDVT Talk 900. We're Rasslin Radio, and I'm Carmela. I'm sitting in not by myself. Paul's here. Our good friend Rich is here with us, and we're sitting here talking wrestling. All right, our phone numbers are 238-3900 in Pennsylvania, 541-3900 in New Jersey. We want opinions. We want to know what you think of these guys moving around from federation to federation. We also want to know what you think is going to happen. Who's going to be the major guy? I know we had that a couple weeks ago. We decided what federation we like the best, but we want to know who do you think is going to come out on top, okay? Let's go to Richard.
Hello, Dickie Black here.
Yes.
Am I on the air?
Yes, sir.
I'd like to order 2 large pizzas, please.
Not from here.
This ain't Sal's?
Pardon me?
This ain't Sal's Pizzeria?
Sorry. Okay. Let's go to Dave in the Northeast. Okay, we're not going to go to Dave. Dave? Okay. Hello, Desmond, you're on Talk 900.
Is it true that Barry Windham is
Okay, you have to say your question fast, honey.
And Magnum TA is Blackjack Mulligan's uncle?
Who's this? Say this again.
Is it true that Michael Rotundo and Magnum TA is Blackjack Mulligan's uncle?
Nope. Sorry.
Cousins?
Nope, they're not related. Blackjack Mulligan has Barry Windham as his son, and that's about the size of it. So is Kendall Windham, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, let's go to Mark in Cherry Hill.
Yeah, can I ask you 2 quick questions?
1.
What happened to Chick Donovan?
What happened to Chick Donovan? From what he's kind of taken a little bit of a dive. We don't hear too much about him right now. Apparently, he's wrestling somewhere. We don't know too much about him. But what I'll do is write it down. If we hear anything next week, I'll say it on the air for you, okay? All right, thank you. Okay, let's go to Crockett Country. The results from the tournament. I'll bet you nobody has those yet, but we do. And you heard it here on Rasslin Radio first. The results from the tournament. The Russians have taken the belt. They were in the finals with the Jayhawks. The Jayhawks made it all the way to the finals. The Russians took the belts. They are now the U.S. champs. And also, Nikita defeated Wahoo. He is now the U.S. champ. So now we have the Russians have taken over all of it. Okay, we want to know what you think about that, too. Don't forget to give us a call at 238-3900 in Pennsylvania. In New Jersey, 541-3900. Okay, Starcade, we have a little bit of info on that. Supposedly it's going to be in Greensboro and Atlanta. Greensboro, North Carolina, and Atlanta, Georgia on Thanksgiving night. They're supposed to be closed circuit. Exactly where the closed circuit will be, we don't know at this point. We don't have all the information on that. It's still a little ways off, but they should be announcing something on that soon. As soon as we hear anything about that, we'll be certain to let you know. Also, October 24th, the NWA will be appearing in Pittsburgh. It's the first time in more than a year that they've been there. Apparently, they haven't done very well when they were there the last time, and hopefully they're going to be doing a lot better now. They're going to give it one more shot. The Road Warriors are working again, and they have booked a lot of independent shows as well as working with Crockett Promotions. They've recently had a show in Elizabeth, New Jersey. This past Tuesday, they fought Abdul the Butcher and Kevin Sullivan. What a match, what a match. Okay, the Civic Center. Let's talk about the Civic Center on the 18th. Dusty against Tully. The tickets are going well, by the way. The tickets are going well for both shows. They're going well for the Civic Center and for the Spectrum. And the war goes on. I still don't know what's going to happen, and we're just going to let you know as soon as we know. Now, big point here. Is Manny Fernandez turning bad? I don't know. They've been spending a lot of time with him on TV. Paul Jones has been kind of propositioning him on TV, and they've been giving Manning a lot of time. I don't know if he'll go. Boogie Woogie Man seems to be losing all of his buddies. We want to know what you think about that, too, okay? Michael in the Northeast, you have a question?
Hello.
Hi.
I'd like to know, in 1987, is it true that Ivan Koloff and Dusty Rhodes are going to retire just months away from each other?
Oh, boy, that's a loaded question. Is it true that Ivan Koloff and Dusty Rhodes are going to retire?
Months away from each other.
Months away from each other. I have heard some rumors to somebody retiring. Now, I don't know whether it's Rhodes, and I don't know whether it's Ivan Koloff, but as soon as we find out, we'll let you know, okay?
There's something that's come to my attention, though.
Pardon me?
WWF is starting to turn into a circus.
Well, that's what a lot of people think, and we're interested in your opinion. It's been like that for a while. I'm sorry?
The Honky Tonk Man?
Yep, Honky Tonk Man, as we said, is Wayne.
Last night, Saturday night's main event. That was goofy.
Right. All right. Well, thank you for your phone call.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Okay, let's go to Michael. We did Michael. I'm sorry. Okay, let's go to Mark in Cherry Hill. Okay, we did him too. All right, let's go on to some more news here. World Class. Scott Bam Bam Bigelow is coming to World Class from Memphis. He's the guy out in Memphis, the big guy with the tattoos on his head, that was feuding with Jerry Lawler. Now, at late, he was feuding with Larry Sharp. He's coming into world class from Memphis. He'll be feuding with Bruiser Brody, which means that Abdullah will not have anybody to feud with. So he may leave and may be up for grabs in the independent market. Okay, Black Bart is the champion, as we all know, out in world class. From what we understand, he comes into the ring on a horse and uses a branding iron, kind of like the Terry Funk scenario. Again, some of this stuff is starting to lead us to believe that the WWF is influential in the world-class market. All of this is going to be on the 10-12 card at the Cotton Bowl, and he is supposedly going to take on Kerry Von Erich for the world title. The big problem, however, here is Kevin Von Erich is scheduled for a Japan tour, which starts on 10-13 in Japan, which means that it's 10-12 in Dallas, because Japan is a day ahead of us. So the 12th, he supposedly is supposed to be in Japan, and I don't know what's going to happen. He has also been a no-show on several occasions. So world class is kind of like between a rock and a hard place right now. It's getting some help from the WWF, but it doesn't seem to be coming as far as it should be. Chris Adams has left. We went into that last week about what happened with him and his trial and that type of thing. So I guess he got really teed off at some of those people and walked out. He's in UWF. We're going to talk about UWF in just a second, okay? Richard.
Yes, I would like to know the Rock and Roll Express and the Fantastic ever fought, and who was the winner.
The Rock and Roll Express and Fantastic have never fought to our knowledge, okay? But if we find out anything differently, we'll let you know. Okay, thank you. All right, let's go to Brian. You're on Talk 900, Brian.
You mentioned about the Abdullah the Butcher and Kevin Sullivan match.
Yes.
Do they have those kind of cards regularly in New Jersey?
Well, now, they haven't up until this point. What's happening is the NWF, which is the National Wrestling Federation, is doing a lot of these things coming up. They're an up-and-coming promotion, just like Seroma Promotions, which is ours. They're up-and-coming, and from what I understand, the Road Warriors have booked several New Jersey shows in the near future. Exactly what federation they're with, I don't know, but there are a lot of independents that are doing this, okay? So
Do you know when any are going to be in New Jersey cards are?
I don't know when the future ones are going to be, but it would be certainly wise to listen because we do catch up on everything that's coming up. So as soon as we find out, you'll be the first to know.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Okay, let's go to Joe. Joe, you're on Talk 900. Joe? Okay, Joe's not there. Okay, let's go to Lori from Trenton.
What's the name of the Rock and Roll Express new theme song?
What's the name of the Rock and Roll Express theme song? Rock and Roll is King.
No, they got a
Oh,
new
the
one.
new one. I have no idea what the name of that new one is. I really don't. To tell you the truth and be totally honest, I haven't even heard it. I heard that they have a new song, a new theme song. I don't know why they have a new one, and I have not heard it myself. Anybody who's out there listening, if you know what the name of it is, please feel free to call in, and we'll just announce it on the air. How's that? Okay, Lori?
Okay.
All right, thank you. Okay, let's go into the UWF at this point. Okay, 922 in Jackson. Johnny Tatum beat the Missing Link with Missy's interference. Had the Link won that match, Dark Journey would have had 5 minutes alone with Missy. And boy, let me tell you, I personally would like to see that. I'd like to punch her too. If any of you had seen the tapes from the Valet of the Day, that was terrific. However, I just couldn't picture myself doing windows and running a vacuum in a gown with gloves up to my elbows. But anyway, that's what happened. Chris Adams is now in the UWF, which means the Universal Wrestling Federation. It's a promotion that's headed by Bill Watts in the Texas area. And Chris Adams comes out to the record, Eye of the Tiger. Where have we heard that one before? 921 in Houston. Dark Journey pinned Missy Hyde. I would have liked to see that myself. I know I said that before, but I'd just like to see Missy get hers. Stan Hansen may be coming in to the UWF. We don't know too much on that yet, but as soon as we find out about that, we'll certainly let you know. Buddy Roberts pinned Terry Taylor last night for the TV belt. So now Buddy Roberts is the new TV title holder in the Universal Wrestling Federation. Of course, he held Terry Taylor's tights, so I'm sure that had something to do with it. I don't know that he could beat him by himself. King Parsons and Buddy Roberts are also feuding now with each other. They have a hair versus hair match. I don't see where that's a whole big deal either for King Parsons. He doesn't really have too much of it to begin with. Buddy Roberts would have a whole lot to lose. All right, but probably around Thanksgiving at the Superdome, where they'll have their big card, will be where that major match will be held. Okay, let's go on to Montreal. Montreal is hurting badly, okay, as Titan is taking over its major stars. More in weeks to come. We did say that Rick Martel and Tom Zank and Mr. DeSalvo, Steve DeSalvo, I believe his name is, will probably be coming into the WWF area, the World Wrestling Federation area. So Montreal is really having its share of ups and downs. We're going to go on to a few more things. At this point, you're on Talk 900. Brian?
Yeah, I'd like to know if Dr. Death from the UWF is going to win the title.
I have no idea if he's going to win the title. I'd like to see him win it. Okay?
Uh-huh.
Thank you. Okay, let's go to Andrew. You're on Talk 900?
But yeah, I'd like to know, since Chris Adams came to the UWF, who has the belt now for the world class?
Okay, the world class title right now is, wait a minute, who has world class title right now? Black Bart, right, we just said that earlier. You threw me off there for a minute.
Yeah, okay.
Chris Adams is here, but that doesn't mean he has a belt.
Uh-huh.
He had said, as a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, he had gone into the ring and he had announced that he's in this federation and he loves it and he's going to stay, and he was already confronted for a match. So he says that he wants to take the title, so we'll soon see that in upcoming weeks, okay?
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Okay, let's go to Hugo. Kensington, hello.
Hello. I'd like to know if it's true that the 3 call-offs are not Russian at all, that they're actually American-born, and the reason for the fraud on the fans is to whip up the war hysteria in this country. Is there any truth to that?
Boy, I did have to pick Hugo, huh? Well, okay, I'm going to tell you, wrestling, again, as in all other sports, okay? There's gimmick in wrestling, there's gimmick in all other sports. To the best of my knowledge, no, they are not born in Russia, okay? Exactly what their heritage is and that type of thing, I am not at liberty to say right now. However, the bottom line is what they believe. They believe in Russia. They don't believe in the United States, and I think that's the most important thing.
But
okay.
They're American-born.
All right, do you have proof of that?
No, I'm saying, in other words, primarily what I meant, they're not Russian-born, in other words.
They're not Russian-born, no.
Because one of them, the big guy, Nikita, when he speaks perfect English. He sounds like a college man.
He probably
so that's
is.
where I say, how the hell could he be Russian-born to speak so fluent? You know, the big guy, the biggest one of the whole 3.
Okay, but you have to understand something, okay? Wrestling, as I said, as any other sport, it's a job, okay? These guys are out there, they're making a living just like you do, and they have a gimmick, they have something that they want to let the people know about, see about. How many of the wrestlers are related? How many of them are still good friends? You don't see, as I said before, you don't see Dr. J beating up on Larry Bird on the street. These are things that they do. This is a job, okay? What they believe in, that's their bottom line. They believe in Russia. They're not Russian-born to the best of my knowledge, but they believe in Russia, okay? Thank you.
But see, the point I'm making, that's a very dangerous proposition because you're feeding up the war hysteria. You understand? We're not backing up the president. He's going to what do you call a big meeting with the Russian there, and we're cutting the legs from under him. You know what I mean?
Okay, well,
I think it's a disservice to the American citizen.
Okay, I don't think right now that they're going to be worried too much about, the president's not going to worry too much about Nikita, Ivan, and Crusher Khrushchev. I think it's just, like I said, it's a job. This is what they are in it to do, and let's just let them have a good time about it. We're not really going to go outside and beat them up after the show. You can't do that. This is what they want to do. This is what they believe in. It's all fun. We're all having a good time with it, and the bottom line is, do you enjoy the sport?
A spectacular 8-match card of exciting NWA Championship Wrestling has been scheduled for the Philadelphia Civic Center on Saturday, October 18th at 8:30, featuring Rick Rude, Baron Von Raschke, Buddy Landel, The Midnight Express with Jim Cornette, Brad Armstrong, The Raging Bull, Jimmy Valiant, plus in a wild 6-man tag team match, the villainous Russians Ivan and Nikita Koloff and Crusher Khrushchev go against Dick Murdoch, Wahoo McDaniel, and Ronnie Garvin. Then the exciting Rock and Roll Express defend their NWA World's Tag Team titles against the Minnesota Wrecking Crew, Ole and Arn Anderson. And then in a special grudge match, Magnum TA clashes with gorgeous Jimmy Garvin with Precious. Plus the NWA World's Television Championship will be at stake when the popular champion, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, risks his title against tough Tully Blanchard with James J. Dillon in a free-swinging battle. That's Saturday, October 18th at 8 p.m., NWA Championship Wrestling at the Philadelphia Civic Center.
Squared Circle, the only professional wrestling store in the country. And we have it. We are up at I-95 Marketplace in Levittown, Pennsylvania, where routes 1, 413, and I-95 meet. Our hours are Thursday, 12 to 9 p.m., Friday, 10 to 10, Saturday, 10 to 9, Sunday, 10 to 6. Among all the other things we have are magazines, books, T-shirts, pajamas, school supplies, glasses, toys, dolls, videotapes, kites, hats, bandanas, pins, puzzles, etc. We also now have the 1987 wrestling calendars. We have ticket information for events in the Philadelphia area and all over the country, sometimes in Japan also. We are the one-stop shop for all your wrestling needs. We have the latest wrestling information available. And come up and see us. We are up there, my husband Paul, myself, and our partner Joel Goodhart. And our number is 750-0269. That's 750-0269. We also have dolls. Some new ones, some old ones, but whatever you need, we have up at the Squared Circle. So just call us at 750-0269 for all of your wrestling needs. As I said before, we are your one-stop shop for professional wrestling, and I think we have a ball up there. We have a video running all day long, and we have all kinds of people coming in. A lot of people have been in to try and find out about how to be wrestlers and that type of thing. There's some big guys walking around out there, so come up to the Squared Circle. Say hi to Jeannie up there. She's up there all the time, good old faithful, and it's 750-0269. Okay, we're on Talk 900. We are Rasslin Radio. My name is Carmela. I'm here without Joel Goodhart today, who is my partner. Joel Goodhart is at home, sitting there with his little Walkman on his head, listening, going, boy, she really can't do it without me. Well, I think we can, and we're doing a real good show today. We have a lot of call-ins, a lot of opinions, but we miss you anyway, Joel. And I know the people who are not here miss you, but Joel will be back next week, rough and ready to make all the corrections on all the things that I did wrong this week. Okay, our phone numbers are 238-3900 in Pennsylvania, 541-3900 in New Jersey. Our address is WDVT, Talk 900, New Market, Philadelphia, 19147. Okay, and we are talking wrestling. Okay, let's go to Joan.
Yes, good morning, Carmela.
Good morning.
My question is directed mainly at Macho Man.
Yes.
Macho Man, Randy Savage.
Okay.
Elizabeth is supposed to be his manager. Why does the Federation allow Macho Man, and why does Elizabeth allow him to cheat her so cruelly?
Well, first of all, Elizabeth is probably not big enough to allow him to do anything. But what it is, again, as I tried to tell one of the other callers, it's what the people want to see. The people, Elizabeth isn't going to come out and boss him around. That's just not the way it should be. Maybe that's how he really treats her in real life. I've heard that it's not, okay? I heard he's a very gentle, kind man with the woman. It's, in TV, he has to worry about what she's doing and where she's going. And he's the macho man, and he's the top guy, okay?
Well, why don't you do like I do my
one question, sorry, only one question, okay? Okay, Ray, how you doing?
Hi.
Okay, what's up?
You know that Eddie Gilbert managed the Blade Runners, right?
Yes.
Do you feel that the Blade Runners could beat the Road Warriors without any outside interference?
No, I don't think the Blade Runners could beat the Road Warriors. I don't think there's really a tag team that I can think of off the top of my head that can beat the Road Warriors, in my opinion. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Scott, what's your question?
Yeah, I'd like to know if Vince McMahon let Dory Funk Jr. go.
Okay, did he let Dory Funk Jr. go? I don't know right now if he did. He supposedly is taking a tour of Japan at this time. From what I understand, he'll be back. I don't know, that he's let him go since Terry's not there right now. But to my knowledge, not at this time. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. And we're going to go on to Matt. You're on Talk 900. You have a question.
Yeah. I'd like to know if you have any information on Starrcade '86 and with Buddy Roberts winning the title.
Only one question. I'm sorry, Matt.
Right.
Okay, Starrcade '86, I said earlier, we're going, all we know is that it's in Greensboro and Atlanta, and it's it's on Thanksgiving night, and supposedly there's some closed circuit. I don't know exactly what the story is on all that yet, but what I will find out, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, and then we'll let you know, all right?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Joe, you're on Talk 900.
I heard a rumor that Hulk Hogan is going to be beaten by Paul Orndorff for the title, and less than a month later, Orndorff's going to be beaten by Piper. Do you know anything about this?
I don't know that Hogan is going to be beaten by Piper. Rumors are flying that Hogan will be beaten soon. What exactly will happen, whether he'll be beaten or whether the the belt will go up for tournament or whatever. I don't know yet, but we're keeping abreast of it, and as soon as we have any information, we'll let you know, okay?
Okay.
All right. Joanne, you're on Talk 900.
Hello, Carmela. How
Hi.
are you?
Okay, how are you?
All right. I just wanted to let you know about the opinions you wanted to know in the beginning of your program.
Okay.
I think Axel Jim Duggan made a bad mistake by going to the WWF.
Why?
I don't like the WWF at all, and I think he had more of a chance and more popularity in the UWF. The wrestling competition is stronger there than the WWF.
Okay, now, depending on how he's marketed, he may have a lot more popularity up here, because don't forget, the people in this area have already seen UWF a lot on TV. So you never know what's going to happen, but we thank you for your opinion, Joanne, and we'll keep you posted on what's going on.
Thanks,
Thank
Carmela.
you.
Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, we have a phone call from Chester.
Hi, I was trying to find out what happened with the show that was on the Trenton station on Saturdays. I didn't hear it anymore, and only a friend of mine told me that you moved over, and because when we called the station, they said it was canceled and something about ratings. What?
Well, you know, it's funny you should mention that, because as I was doing my research for the program today, I found that there are a lot. I didn't want to mention it on the air because I wasn't sure that there were a lot of people that were listening that would even be familiar with it. Okay, listen, I'm going to cut you off right now, and I'm going to answer that on the air, all right?
Okay.
Okay. All right, what's happening is in the New York area and parts of Jersey, a lot of the TV stations are either being taken off or replaced by other stations because of poor ratings or too much of a particular program being on. There's a lot of wrestling on in a lot of different channels and stations and areas and that type of thing. And I think a lot of the places are getting so much of it, and a lot of the independent shows are starting to come on, that people just don't really want to say it. And a lot of them have been changed. A lot of them are off right now. And as soon as we get some more information on it, we'll let you know. And I really appreciate your phone call, okay? We're going to go on to Memphis. Tommy Rich is in the Memphis circuit. He's been there for a little bit now. Before Bam Bam Bigelow left or would have left the area, he fought Jerry Lawler in a 7-fall match. That is incredible. I've never in my life heard of or have seen a 7-fall match. I guess if I never heard of it, I couldn't have seen it. Bigelow was pinned in most of the falls, so Jerry Lawler, being the king out there, apparently has won. Lawler and Rich were in a tag team and went against Fire and Flame in a mask versus a leave town match, which means if Fire and Flame won, they would have had to be unmasked. And if Lawler and Rich won, if Lawler and Rich lost, they would have to leave town. If Fire and Flame lost, they'd have to be unmasked. As it happens, Lawler and Rich won. Fire and Flame were unmasked, and they turned out to be Don Bass and Dirty Rhodes, who is Roger Smith. Dirty Rhodes calls himself Dusty Rhodes' cousin. So he's out there. He was a good guy way back when he was tag teaming with Harley Davidson, who is now Hillbilly Jim. Giant Hillbilly, or Stan Frazier, or Uncle Elmer, or whatever, will renew his wedding vows on October 6th, which is tomorrow, at the Mid-South Coliseum. He's wearing a tuxedo for this one, no overalls. He will second honeymoon in Hawaii, where he is scheduled to wrestle, and he's very serious about this one, everybody. He doesn't want any baloney. He doesn't want any interference or any nonsense. He's tickled to death about it. He's truly in love, I guess. It's nice when you can be in love when you're that big and that old. Okay, Florida. Let's go to Florida. In 924, Fort Lauderdale, Barry Windham regained the Florida title from Ron Bass. There was an upset at the tapes on 924. Barry and Kendall Windham were to team in a match and apparently had an argument. Kendall Windham stormed out of the ring. All the bad guys jumped in and beat up on Barry. And as it turns out, Barry threw powder in everyone's eye and came out the victor. Sir Oliver Humperdinck got beat up with milk, eggs, and feathers. I like that kind of stuff. Florida does that stuff every once in a while. Okay, we're going to go over to Dale. You're on Talk 900. Dale? No, Dale. We're going to go over to Jerry. You're on Talk 900.
Yes, real quick. I've heard that Macho Man Savage and Elizabeth, is it true that they're real-life husband and wife?
Yes, sir. To the best of my knowledge, they are husband and wife.
God, how'd she ever go for an ugly guy like that?
Money.
Yes.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, let's go to Alan. You're on Talk 900. Alan?
Yes?
Okay, you're on Talk 900. Do you have a question?
Yes, I wanted to know between Jake Roberts, Paul Orndorff, Randy Savage, who has held the most titles between them?
Oh, wow. Between who now? Randy Savage?
Jake Roberts,
Roddy
Piper, and Paul Orndorff.
Roddy Piper and Paul Orndorff? Roddy Piper, I believe, to the best of my knowledge, right now, just the name coming to my head, I can picture Piper with having more titles than the rest of them, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, the AWA. Big John Harris is in as Silo Sam. He was supposedly going to come into the WWF at one point to kind of be one of the machines so that he would be the closest guy to look like the one who supposedly is Andre the Giant. That's right, Joel. I didn't say he is Andre the Giant. He looks like him a lot. Anyway, John Harris is out in the AWA area. He's on a big tour now with Snuka as the headliner. They're all on tour, and we're going to go on to the trivia question. We're going to take just one more phone call right now, I think. Joe, can I help you?
Yes.
You're on Talk 900.
Yes, glad to speak with you. I wanted to ask you, is it my impression correct? Have women tended to fade out of the sport in terms of participation? Because they don't seem to get much mention, and I wonder, do you find them to be entertaining, and have you ever imagined yourself being a wrestler, and what kind of wrestler would you be?
Okay. Oh, boy. All right. The women wrestlers have not faded out to the best of my knowledge. I'm going to cut you off, Joe, okay, but I will answer your question. Okay, they have not died out or faded out. As a matter of fact, to my knowledge, they're coming back stronger than ever, as a matter of fact, but it's a whole different type of women wrestler. Okay, it's not like the old, Moolah stuff and that type of thing. They're very professional. They're athletes. They're very well formed. They work out a lot, and I think it's really coming back a lot. As far as myself goes, no, I don't think I would ever become a lady wrestler. Not that I couldn't, but I don't think I would do that. It's not my style. I'm having enough of a hard time being accepted in the wrestling world by all the men as a promoter. It's very difficult being accepted in the wrestling world where you're in a man's sport or in a man's world as a lady professional of any kind. So I'm really having a difficult time with that right now. The guys have been terrific. They're very, very nice people. They deal with me and my partners on a very professional level. I enjoy being that way right now, and I think, we'll just leave it at that. And we have a trivia question, and then we're going to be back later on with the answer, okay? The trivia question is, who was the first man managed by Jim Cornette? Now, if you paid attention to our radio show, I announced this. One of our first or second shows. I want to know who was the first man who was managed by Jim Cornette. We will be back with that answer in just a moment. Okay, we're back on Talk 900. We are Rasslin Radio. My name is Carmela. We miss my partner Joel. We just want you to know that, Joel. I know you're listening. While you're praying, I hope you say a prayer for me, and I'll remember you when Easter comes around. All right, going back to that question about the lady wrestlers, Paul just brought to my attention that I forgot to mention that there's a new show called Glow, The Glamorous Ladies of Wrestling. That's coming out. I particularly don't like it. I really don't care for it too much, but it is out, and it's on, I think, Channel 57, if I'm not mistaken, Saturday. So you might want to watch that and see what's happening. As I said, the women are getting a lot more involved in wrestling than they have ever been. All right, I think we have a trivia winner. Okay, we're going to go to Drew. Drew from Trenton, do you have our answer? You're on Talk 900.
Yeah, the answer is Dutch Mantel.
All right, how'd you know that? Did you know it because I said it on the air, or did you know it because you're that much of a wrestling fan?
I know it from reading a wrestling magazine.
Oh, okay. All right. That's great. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to put you on hold, and our producer's going to take your name and number, and we have a gift certificate for you up at the Squared Circle, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay, that answer was Dutch Mantel, and we got that trivia question from Dutch Mantel because he told us one day when we were talking to him that Jim Cornette had managed him, and it was the first man that Jim Cornette had ever managed. So we're going to go on right now to the Wrestler of the Week. We try and get a little bit of everything in every week as we do, but sometimes we have too much time going on and we really don't have a whole lot to say about different things. But I want to try and get this in. We have Rick Martel as our Wrestler of the Week. He's going to be our topic this week because he supposedly is coming into the WWF, and I want you to know a little bit about him. For those of you who don't remember him when he was here, I want you to know a little bit about him before he comes into the area. He's 30 years old. He's had 15 years of professional wrestling. His hometown is Quebec City, Quebec, and he right now is with International Wrestling, but hopefully soon he'll be coming back into the WWF. He's a former AWA World Heavyweight Champion, an amateur ice hockey player who followed his two older brothers into pro wrestling at the age of 16 in 1972. Older brother Pierre wrestles in Canada as a heel under the name of Frenchie Martin, while his brother Michel wrestled for several years before dying of a heart attack in a match in Puerto Rico several years ago. I don't have to tell you that Rick Martel's mother sweats every time he goes in the ring, and I don't blame her for sure. He held the WWF Tag Team titles with Tony Garea in 1981-82, winning it from the Moondogs and losing it to Mr. Fuji and Mr. Saito. Was a big favorite in Australia while still a teenager. He's quick, well-conditioned, and loaded with skill. Also very good-looking, but really never made it as a big heartthrob due to not having a flashy appeal. Well, let me tell you something. He can throb my heart anytime. He won the AWA belt on May 13, 1984 from Jumbo Tsuruta in St. Paul and retained it until December 29, 1985 when he fell to Stan Hansen at the Meadowlands in Jersey. Actually was ready to jump to the WWF early in 84, but as things happened, it didn't turn out. He decided to stay where he was. He was a poor draw as a champion, although many blame the fact that he wasn't pushed correctly, which I agree with. I think he wasn't pushed properly. If he was pushed and had a little bit more flair and more gimmick, things would have been different, I'm sure. He's part owner of International Wrestling in Montreal, and he appears content to remain at home. Well, that was until we found out that he probably got a better role for Montreal. Promotion seems to be dying out a little bit, and there seems to be a small problem coming up with that, so maybe that's why he's coming out here. He has excellent skills, but despite his youth, his wrestling style is a throwback to the old days. Today's fans get bored in between spots, so although he is a great athlete and demonstrates it, he's actually far more effective as a tag team wrestler. Because of his French accent, he isn't very strong on interviews. I feel with a slight change in his style, he would still be marketable as a main eventer. Was rated number 35 in the world in 1984 and number 18 in 1985. Although Martel was highly criticized as champion, he definitely had enough ability to carry the strap. Again, a lot of this is opinionated, and what we need to say here is that he's an excellent wrestler. I think all he needs to do is come in the ring with like a little white tuxedo with a little white bow tie and a white top hat, and I think he's going to do great. And Vince, if you're listening to this, I want credit for giving you that particular bit of information. Okay, Richie Collingswood, are you on?
Yeah,
Talk 900.
Hi, is this Opinion Day?
Yes, sir.
Your show stinks.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, we're going to go on to Bob in the Northeast.
Yeah, I would like to know if Nikita Koloff can beat the Barbarian in the NWA.
If I think he can?
Yeah.
Nikita Koloff can beat almost anybody in the whole world, I think. Nikita Koloff is a very well-conditioned athlete. I think he has a lot of stamina, a lot of staying power. He has a lot of strength, and yes, I think he can beat the Barbarian, okay?
No, he isn't. He's a bum.
All right. We're going to go to Steve from Philadelphia. Can I help you?
I'd like to know if WCCW is coming to Philadelphia again.
WCCW, I have no idea right now. We're going to, we'll find out about that and come back on and let you know as time goes on, okay?
Okay, you sure doesn't stink.
Thank you. We just kind of consider the source of the people who call. I'm not going to stand on the phone and argue with people and lower myself to those standards. If anybody feels that they're going to call, I'm going to cut you off, Steve. Thank you. If anybody's going to call with those kind of remarks, you're certainly entitled to. But however, don't expect me to sit on the phone and haggle with you when I have intelligent people who have a lot to say. Okay, let's talk to Omar.
Yes, I would like to know when will Jimmy Valiant and Paul Jones have another haircut match? And who win between Hawk and Animal?
Okay, when will Jimmy Valiant and Paul Jones have another haircut? Probably in Starrcade. And that's when I think Paul Jones is going to get his taken off. Okay, and what did you say about the Road Warriors? I'm sorry?
Who would win between Hawk and Animal?
Okay, between Hawk and Animal, oh boy, that's a tough question. That'd be a nice opinion question. As far as Hawk and Animal go, I think, boy, I don't know. Hawk may because he has the size and he has the speed, but Animal is a lot stronger as far as bench pressing and lifting. So it's kind of like a toss-up. It'd be kind of like maybe a David and Goliath thing. I think it would surprise anybody who was into listening to that, okay?
But Hawk is smarter than Animal.
Well, I don't know about that. I don't know them that well personally. Maybe you do, but we'll find out, I guess, someday down the road. Right now, we don't know that, okay? Thank you.
All right.
Okay, let's go to Steve in the Northeast.
I'd like to know if you think Roddy Piper could beat Paul Orndorff in a match without Bobby Heenan, hanging around the ring.
Oh, God, yeah. I think Roddy Piper can beat a whole lot of people because Roddy Piper has the ability, he has the speed, he has the stamina, he has the intelligence, he has the experience, he has the knowledge, he has the gimmick, he has everything. I like Roddy Piper, obviously, and I think he can. I think he can beat Orndorff. Orndorff is more well put together. However, I still think I would put my money on Roddy Piper. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to go to Mark in Doylestown. You're on Talk 900.
Hello. Is it true that Bruno Sammartino is coming out of retirement?
Bruno Sammartino has been out of retirement. He's only semi-retired right now. He's been going in matches, and if you've watched TV, you've seen him. And that's all I got to tell you right now, hon, okay? Thank you. Okay, and we have a whole lot more coming up. Okay, we're back, and we're going to talk about the Squared Circle a little bit more. It's your one-stop shop for all your wrestling needs. We're located in the I-95 Marketplace, where Route 1, 413, and I-95 meet. We are the Squared Circle, and inside our store, we have fantastic things going, almost everything you can possibly think of that has to do with professional wrestling. Our store is open on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday weekly. And if you call 750-0269, talk to any one of us, Paul, myself, my partner Joel, and Jeannie, and we're all up there trying to help you. We got videotapes running at all times. We have information, and we have a whole lot more coming up. We also have a What Happened To. Our wrestler this week of Whatever Happened To is Bobo Brazil. His real name is Houston Harris. He was the first black superstar in wrestling history, and he held many titles. He seldom wrestles now. He's at 57 years old, and he's battling arthritis, which was caused probably by 30 years of pounding in the ring. But I'll tell you something. I met this man a long time ago when I was just a child, and this man is a fantastic person. He's still a number one top-notch man in my book, and I wish him all the best of luck if he's listening. So any of you who are interested in what happened to Bobo Brazil, that's what happened. We're getting close to the end of our hour here. We're going to take some more phone calls as we go on. I just want to give you our numbers again quickly. It's 238-3900 in Pennsylvania, 541-3900 in New Jersey. Our address is WDVT, Talk 900, New Market, Philadelphia 19147. Please give us a call. We're Rasslin Radio, and we're talking about professional wrestling. Curtis, can I help you? Curtis? Okay. We're going to talk to Victor.
How do they determine who gets title shots?
Okay, how do they determine who gets title shots? Well, the most important thing on how you determine who gets title shots is what the people want to see. I mean, obviously, if you're going to have, let's say, Hulk Hogan, who is the champion right now, and a lot of the people turn around, and they cheer for Roddy Piper, they cheer for Paul Orndorff, they cheer for everybody, then this is how they're going to determine who has the title shots and who gets it. It's all everything that happens in professional wrestling, just like in any other sport, is all determined by the reaction of the crowd, what the people want to see, and how they want to see it. A lot of people don't want to see nice matches, clean matches. They don't want to see any of that stuff. They just want to see what they want to see, and that's that. Victor, is that okay? Thank you for your phone call, okay? We're going to go to Dale in Ben Salem. You're on Talk 900.
Hi.
Hi, what's up?
Okay, I have a question. If the Road Warriors and Rock and Roll Express ever met, who do you think would win?
Okay, if the Road Warriors and Rock and Roll Express ever met, who do I think would win? That's very difficult to answer. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to put you off here, okay, Dale, and then I'm going to talk on the air with that. Okay, I think that in that particular case, that would definitely be a David and Goliath type match. With the Road Warriors having the stamina, the strength, the power, the size, the aggressiveness, of course, they would probably be the most probable to win. However, the Rock and Roll Express has more speed, more stamina. They have anxiousness. They have ambition. They have, not that the Road Warriors don't have guts, but the Rock and Roll Express, being the lesser of the two as far as equality, would probably be the ones that would want to go for even more. So I think that would kind of be an upset. I really do, and I think that I'd like to see that match because the Road Warriors have gone up against the Midnight Express, and Midnight Express has given them a pretty tough time too. Okay, Sal, you're on Talk 900. Hi.
I wanted to ask about Mil Mascaras.
Okay, what about Mil Mascaras?
I want to know where he's wrestling.
Okay, I'm going to answer that briefly. Is wrestling out in Mexico? We'll let you know what's going on. We have to cut you off right now. I'm sorry.
Okay.
That's our last call. Okay, we're going to have to close this up. Our hour went by very quickly. Joe, we're looking forward to seeing you next week. You can do the whole radio show. No, I'm only kidding. Thank you all for your phone call. We are Rasslin Radio, WDVT, Philadelphia.